are not ready for prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time. That's the name.
Prime time.
Prime time.
What time is it? Showtime prime time.
It's XL Prime Time, featuring Joe C.
I'm having nightmares right now.
Matt Hayes.
Big asses, big thighs, yeah.
And Leon Searcy.
Babe, after me on nothing says football like since it's sober.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
Oh, yeah, we are rolling into a Thursday. Last day of OTAs is complete. Minicamp begins next week. Wednesday, by the way, open to the public, the minicamp. We will get into that here on XLP. Matt Hayes, Leon Searcy, JJ LaSelva running things smoothly. Joe C. out in Nashville for a couple days on a well-deserved vacation. We're going to get into some Jag stuff. We're going to get into some college football, a couple overarching topics we want to throw out, including, I don't know if y'all watched the first game of the Stanley Cup playoffs last night, the finals between Edmonton and your Florida Panthers, Leon. Your Florida Panthers. Because they're from, down south.
They are down south. They play at Sawgrass.
Sunrise, yeah. Sunrise, yeah.
No,
So it's that area.
Yeah, that's the area. Sunrise, Sawgrass, yes. That's where the stadium is. I've driven by there a couple of times. Never gone in.
Played at Edmonton. First, by the way, I'm going to see the Who there in August.
Really?
Yeah, very far.
The original Who? Or
original, bro.
Okay, all right.
Come on.
Keith Moon
the surviving members, right,
okay,
JJ? Come on.
Yeah.
Why you got to do that, JJ? Come on, man.
Yes.
The surviving members, Leon, yes, including 82-year-old Roger Daltrey, who apparently is crushing it on tour.
What's your favorite song? The Who? Who is it? What's your favorite song?
Oh, wow.
Just give me one you rock to.
Love Reign Over Me is probably, if not my favorite, one of the favorites. Just a classic, an all-time classic.
All right.
What about you, Leon?
Something with pinball.
Pinball
Wizards.
I bet you know a lot more than you think you know, too.
I probably do.
You know Bob O'Reilly.
Yeah, you know Bob O'Reilly. You
Bob
know
O'Reilly.
Teenage Wasteland, as they call it.
Yeah.
Okay, I probably do. If I hear it, I know I rock to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, a lot more than you think you know.
Well, the big fella,
I'm sure you know
the
that.
big fella has a broadened spectrum.
You are a rock and roll guy.
I am, bro. I do rock, soul, hip hop, R&B, all that, funk,
Right.
Reggae, of course, now.
reggae. Yeah, man. Yes, of course.
Sometimes you'll go deep into rock and roll too. You get like deep cuts where we can't believe you know it, or
Like a Pink Floyd or Led Zeppelin.
a lot of
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, they're not exactly.
that's deep. It's
deep for him, bro.
That's deep for me, bro. I still got to keep my black card now. I can't go too deep.
All right, we're gonna
Just name like two of the most popular bands of all time.
right because they're deep, man, like the Beatles.
Yeah, the Stones.
That part.
But you are a Beatles fan.
I do
know
appreciate that about you, though.
Right, I do
No
too.
doubt.
You appreciate our culture and our music,
Right.
and I love that.
In fact, you flourish in it. You flourish in it.
I flourish in it.
Yes, you do.
Expand upon that.
The music, like you,
Yeah,
you are just you're all about it.
I can go deep in there. Yeah,
Not that you know the lyrics too.
I do sometimes.
Now, there's only one step left, and that's country music.
Not sure. Maybe I'm going to
I don't
tread
know,
in that
bro. You
water.
might like some country.
Well, Tim McGraw?
You might like.
Tim McGraw.
I'll tell you what. You and I
you.
you don't drink the brown water anymore. But we had a couple of brown waters.
No,
I started playing some
I'm
Waylon for
drinking
you.
the
You
brown
might
water
like
anymore.
it.
Now y'all got the song that I like that I think y'all might.
Y'all, as in
hip-hop.
like just white people.
What's the song called? Everybody in the club getting tipsy. I've heard. Yeah, that's it was a hip hop song initially.
Yeah,
but
I was about to say that's definitely not ours.
But I've heard it played.
What do you mean ours?
Exactly. I've heard it played.
That was like Chingy.
I've heard it being played.
Everybody in the club
Country-
getting
the
tipsy.
country version.
It's the
country
Shabugi.
version.
What's his name, JJ? Shabugi or Shab?
Yeah, but he's also not ours.
Right.
He's yours.
He's on loan, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, he's on loan.
Yeah,
He's
on
like
loan.
the Eminem.
Just
of
like
country
Beyonce's
music.
on loan too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You guys are taking country from us.
You are,
Dang. I didn't even realize that. Yeah, Shabuzi, that hit is like
Shabuzi, that's it.
the past, I guess, more last summer. I mean, like you could not go anywhere without hearing that song.
Right.
But I don't know what you're referring to. Everybody in the club again.
Yeah, I've heard it.
Okay.
That's
we'll
it.
come
That's
back
it.
with
Everybody,
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
everybody at the bar's
Shabuzi, it's
getting
called a
tipsy.
bar
Yeah,
song.
but
Yeah,
it
that's his most
was
favorite-
initially a hip hop song.
That's his most famous song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right, so
Anyway.
we've got some interactive stuff for you guys today. So you can reach out on the text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures 641-1010. We're going to start off with, of course, like I said earlier, the best environment you've ever been a part of. For Leon, we're going to do the best environment he's ever been a part of, both as a player and as a fan. But if you're driving around out there and you're thinking, oh, I remember this. So give us the best environment and why, and we'll bring some of them up. You guys are already hitting the text line right now with those things. We're going to get into that. I want to get into OTAs, the last OTA. Some surprising stuff out there, actually, among the offensive line. So we'll get into some interesting moves out there. But before we do, Leon, we were supposed to meet out at OTAs.
We were,
and
bro.
we were going to just hang out and
Absolutely.
take notes and
Sit on that hot sun and
then something happened.
Something happened to me this morning, which I had to deal with abruptly. First of all, everybody out there, let me just tell you, the big fella is not a skilled professional in any sort whatsoever.
No,
not the handyman. All right. So let me say
that's the foundation of the story right now.
So a family member gives me a call and says that they're in trouble.
Okay.
Well,
Sounds serious.
So I'm concerned.
Very
Of course I'm
serious,
concerned. So the tire blew on the side of the road, the South Side Boulevard this morning.
Before you go any further, what's your initial thought when you hear
my initial thought is, why the hell?
Sucks for them.
Why are you calling me? I'm the last person you need to be called. Don't call me. So they're in dire straits, a situation where I'm the only person in the world, apparently, that can help them.
Right.
Okay.
Do they know you're limited in that area?
Yeah, it's very limited. So the big fella, before I made any move to get my car keys, I called everybody in my Rolodex. Hey man, no pickup. Any other time, first ring, big fella, what you need, big fella? No pickups, right? So I said,
it's like they could feel that you wanted something.
It was the energy. The energy was out there.
Right. What's Leon calling me the story before?
Exactly. He must want something.
He doesn't want to go meet.
That lets me know what kind of friends I have. To be honest with you, none I can depend on. So I tell myself, man, I got to go do this my damn self. So I did, and it got done. And I was hot and I was sweaty. I was.
I'm proud of you though.
That's impressive, bro. You're on the side of Southside Boulevard changing a tire.
People honking at you, flying by,
I'm not
60 miles an hour.
No, I'm not. No.
Now, was it like the temporary tire or full size?
Temporary tire.
Okay.
Temporary tire.
Is that easier to change? I've never changed a temporary. I've always changed full.
Well, the donut's probably a little easier.
Yeah.
Because you don't. I think with the real tire, you got to mount it and all of that kind of stuff. The donut, you just got all the things on the thing.
Oh, they're already on there already.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I had to do all that, and then by the time I finished with all that, bro, I'm exhausted. I'm sweating. I mean, I done got to work out there.
You were at OTAs.
I was at OTAs.
So let me ask you this. Was the person that called for your help, did they help you in any way, shape, or form?
Negative. I was on my own.
You're on your own.
I was on my own, bro. But
so that gives me an idea of the gender of the person who called you.
Hey, listen, let me tell you something else, man. I had a few choice words. I did a lot of cussing while I was working all day.
You did?
I did. Because I didn't have
not at them, just at
the situation itself, just the situation itself, because I had no water and no towel, and I'm just sweating. So the situation itself was very, very frustrating for the big fella, especially that because I didn't want to do it at all, but I had to do it, and I got done, and then I felt better about myself because you
help someone.
Yeah, you help somebody,
someone in need,
dire need. I made it happen.
Did you get home and think, I'm never doing that again?
Yes. I will listen. From now on, I will have a garage on speed dial somewhere where I could just say, "Hey, man, listen, these people need help, man. Go and get it." I didn't have that.
But I think what's impressive is that you had you ever done it before?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so
but
you knew
we're all
man here, right?
Yeah, hackers never ever change.
I'm never going to do it. I never want to do it again.
So you knew obviously that the jack needed to be put on the frame and not the side. Not the piece of the door that's going to completely collapse. Right. So not a lot of people do that, bro.
Yeah, man. But I mean, now I know that I'm battle tested.
You are.
I'm battle tested now.
Good. I'll call you if I need any help on my car.
JJ, you ever changed the tire?
Dude, I have like a really emasculating story where I was driving back from Ocala one time into Jacksonville, and it was a Sunday morning, and I had to get to work for the Jags pregame.
Right.
Boom, my tire goes out, and I just randomly pull. I'm still like 30 minutes from town. I randomly had to pull into the first neighborhood that I saw, And I'm sitting there and I'm like YouTubing, and then I'm like, should I just call AAA?
Wait, you were YouTubing how to change a tire?
And I'm like,
God, I love that.
And my dad's one of those guys that like, he'll try to teach you something, but if you can't do it within 2 seconds, he'll
gets
just
annoyed.
do it. Yeah, I'll do it myself. So he never taught me that. And this guy who owned the house that I was parked out front of comes walking out this Sunday morning. He's like, do you need something? I'm like taking everything out of my trunk. And I'm like, yeah, my tire, da-da-da. This man, bless him, just changed my tire. It was incredibly emasculating, but I mean, it was just us, so no one else saw it. I'm sharing it on the radio now. But yeah.
Was he an older guy?
No, he was like in his 40s, whatever. I was probably like 30 at the time.
And he just literally just commandeered the whole situation, started changing the tire?
Exactly. And I watched and I learned, and I feel like I can definitely do it now. He was like he's my dad, this guy. I'll never forget him.
Did he beat his chest after he did it? Because he told
you know what's funny? His son came out.
Bro, the whole time he said, man, I'm more man than this guy.
Yeah, his son came outside who was like 5, and like me and his 5-year-old just like watched dad do it.
Oh my gosh. Are you serious?
Swear to God.
You sat there with the 5. Did you at least play with the 5-year-old, keep him busy?
He was babysitting.
I was just asking the guy, like, is there anything I could do to help?
Yeah, right. Did you at least look at the guy and say, I got your 5-year-old, man. Don't worry. We'll hang out.
But it was, it changed my life forever. After that, I was like, I got to learn how to change the tire.
That must have just been utterly emasculating.
It was.
Yeah, that's crazy, DJ. Something like that almost happened to me in college. I was dating a young lady. She had a car, right?
Right.
And she kept asking me to wash the car. I was like, I ain't gonna wash the car. I'll take your car to the car wash with her. And then she called this dude over.
What a guy.
She called this dude over.
Just some guy.
No way.
She called the dude over to come wash the car. I come to her dorm room. She's got this dude out there who's clearly flirting with her while she's washing the car. And I was like, what the hell are you doing? I told you to get my car washed. And I'm looking at the dude. He looking at me. I was like, man, if you don't put that damn sponge.
I was going to say, he wanted no part of you, did he?
No, he wanted no part of me. But see, that was her way of. She got me back because she kept. Why don't you just go wash my car? I said, "That's car wash. What the hell am I gonna wash your car for?" I knew what she was trying to do.
I bet you washed that car next time, didn't you?
I did wash the car.
That's right.
She got me though. Got me all in my feelings.
Whenever there's a means to an end, you do it.
I know.
You got to
bro.
do what you got to do, man. You just got to.
I ain't gonna lie.
All right. We need to go to a break. We're going to come back. We're going to pick up with the OTAs, the last OTA of this season. We got minicamp beginning next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Wednesday is open to the public, so y'all get a chance to see what we've been looking at now for the last couple of weeks. Come on back on the other side. We'll get deep into it. It's XLP.
This is Duval.
And this is my time.
This is Hole.
Our town.
1010XL. There's no place like home.
No matter what the reason, sending a floral arrangement from Kuhn Flowers always works. For unique and special gifts, visit their showroom on Beach Boulevard. Dylan Denmark here with 1010XL. Kuhn Flowers is my go-to and should be yours. Online at kuhnflowers.com.
Hey, Hickett here for my friends at Zero Res. Gang, vacuuming is not sufficient to maintain the cleanliness and lifespan of your carpet, period. Do not, let me repeat, do not leave deep cleaning to yourself, but do-it-yourself dirt-attracting carpet soaking machines. No. Call on the cleaning freaks from Zero Res. Big summer savings. 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at $129. Take 20% off air duct cleaning as well. Call them, 904-287-5727, and ask for the 1010XL special. Zero Res, spell it forwards or backwards. It's the right way to clean.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Duck Duck Rooter is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When you need help with any plumbing, septic, or AC issue, just give us a call and relax. We'll send one of our first-round draft picks to tackle your problems today. DuckDuckRooter.com. That's DuckDuckRooter.com.
Go ahead and dial it.
Dial what? When you call in your opinion or hear an interesting interview from a sports insider on Jaguars Today or XL Primetime, you're getting it straight from the Checkmate Coatings phone line all day, every day on 1010XL.
Swing into the hottest party of the summer. Join First Tee Door Florida at the Yards on June 12th for the Summer Soiree Baja Beach Bash. We're bringing the vibrant spirit of Cabo San Lucas to the First Coast for an evening of family-friendly fun. Enjoy live music, craft cocktails, golf games, raffle prizes, and delicious Mexican-inspired cuisine from Taco Lou. Golf, fiesta, and philanthropy, all to support the impactful programs of the First Tee. Visit firstteenorthflorida.org/summer soiree to secure your tickets today.
Need protection? Call Craig and Christine Kaprosky at Goosehead Insurance. The Kaproskys are a husband-wife team committed to finding you the right coverage at the right price in just a few short minutes. For home, auto, flood, or specialty insurance, Craig and Christine Kaprosky are the answer. Craig.Kaprosky at Goosehead.com.
The coolers are full at your local Gate gas station, making it easy for you to cruise in and cruise out with little downtime. Ice cold Coronas, Natty Lights, Stella Artois, and Michelob Ultra. And don't forget the king of beers, Cold Buds. Gates got them in the cooler, waiting for you.
The 2025 season schedule has dropped, and single game tickets are on sale now. Be at the bank to watch Travis Hunter, Trevor Lawrence, and the Jaguars take on the biggest names in the NFL. Don't miss your favorite matchup and secure your tickets now by visiting jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. See you this fall, Jags fans.
Yes, sir. That's the best decision.
I love it. This is Hayes Carline, and I'm so proud of my guy, Leon Searcy.
Man, I used to want to eat all the time, but just 1 month on Precision Guided Weight Loss, and I've already dropped 15 pounds.
And I lost 25. No side effects, just results.
The GLP-1 curbs my cravings and keeps me feeling full. It's been easier than I expected, and I feel amazing.
Their staff is great, and best of all, no surprise costs.
If you're ready to bring sexy back this summer, visit pgweightloss.com.
Physician-guided weight loss, safe, doctor supervised.
And it works.
Yo, it's your boy E to the T here, and I know that getting into an accident is stressful, but getting the proper care doesn't have to be. That's why I recommend McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation Center. Even if you're at fault, your insurance covers you. And remember, you have the right to choose your own doctor. Even a minor accident can cause whiplash for years if it goes untreated. So don't wait. Call the auto accident experts at McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation. Your recovery starts today.
When I was in Iraq, our convoy was hit. It was bad. After I came home, I could still hear booms and see tracer fire. Makes it hard to be a good mom.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
I'm Naomi Mathis, Air Force veteran.
With the right support, more veterans can reach victories great and small.
With help from DAV, I was able to begin to heal.
DAV provides a lifetime of support to veterans of every generation, helping more than 1 million veterans each year.
Today, I'm part of DAV. We're veterans helping veterans to get the benefits they've earned. And I give my veterans my all.
But there's more to be done and more victories to be won.
My victory is being able to be here for my children.
Naomi Mathis, thank you for your service. May your victories inspire many more. Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
North Florida is growing with lots of new families joining our community. If you're one of them making the move here, your next move should be a call to American Electrical to create the best home automation system, enhancing your living experience. There are many ways your life can be made easier through smart home technology, voice-activated systems, automated lighting, total house temperature control. With American Electrical, they've got everything you need to automate your home and make it your true oasis. Check out American-Electrical.com. Powered by professionalism and raising the excellence bar.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
The thing is apparently he's hitting these high notes. He's 82. So I'm reading some reviews of the movie. He's crushing it, Roger.
Oh, he's still hitting these notes.
He's still hitting these high notes.
That's pretty good, bro.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. Fired up about it. All right, we're back on XLP, and there's an addendum, by the way, to the JJ Tire story that he didn't share on the radio, so I'm going to share it right now. He didn't tip the guy. He didn't give him any money.
Well, I didn't have any
didn't
cash.
offer any money, nothing.
I'm sure I did. I don't remember. It was many years.
No, you can't say I'm sure I did. You just that.
And it wasn't that type of
moment
thing.
like that,
the guy
you
was
don't
just
forget.
being a great guy. He was just a good man.
You ain't had no gum in the
he
car.
wouldn't have accepted
or something, some gum or lollipop or something, bro.
You didn't have a bag of chips from an old Happy Meal you got or something? Nothing? That's disappointing, man. That is just completely disappointing. All right, we started that show talking about the Edmonton and Florida Panthers, Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals. That environment there, just wild. And we asked for your best environment you've ever been a part of. We got a bunch right now on the text line. The 452 says the Florida Georgia atmosphere, and I agree with that. Yeah. 314 says 2001 Alabama LSU Natty rematch in New Orleans. I covered that. That was pretty impressive. Wasn't elite, but it was pretty dang good. The 922. The 2004 Boston after Game 7 ALCS. Nothing can compare. And he's probably right. That's got to be top 3, right?
You talking about when Boston won the championship when they beat the Lake?
When they beat the Yankees.
Yankees? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right.
They came back from
when
that,
they finally vanquished the Yankees.
Okay.
Yeah. That's probably pretty impressive. Real quick, Leon, as a player, the best environment you've ever been a part of.
Well,
first college, then NFL.
First college. Well, I've actually got 2 in college. So
all right.
The first one was my freshman year at the University of Miami. My first game was against the Florida Gators. All right. So I'm a freshman. I'm a red shirt. We're in the locker room. The first thing I know, what I want to do is get the hell out of everybody's way because I'm not playing.
Right.
Okay. So Jimmy Johnson allowed us to dress for that. So, I put on. First of all, I didn't know the particulars and what I needed to do to get dressed. All right, because I only been practicing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm watching around the room. Guys, what they're doing. I say, okay, I know I ain't gonna play, but I need to get tape. And then when you get on there to get tape, and there's a veteran there. They say tape. They say table. They check you.
Right.
Hey, get off the table, Rook. I'm playing.
Right.
So I didn't get tape. All right. So no tape.
Right.
Because I know I'm not going in the game. But then I remember. After we in the locker room, Jimmy Johnson gives this raving speech about Hurricane football and playing out there and pouring it on.
This is the OB, right?
This is the OB. This is the OB. So, when you come out the locker room, you finally hear the noise.
Right.
The fans are going freaking crazy because it's Florida. It's the first game of the season. It's in the Orange Boys.
Was it difficult for you being orange and blue to the death playing in that game?
No, I wasn't there. I was not orange. I was orange and green, baby.
All right.
So I put on my uniform, and there's a tunnel before when you get out on the field. So I had absolutely no idea what was going on. I just know the fans were on top of the tunnel we was in.
Banging on it
and everything, and I could hear the noise and stuff. And all of a sudden I said, shh. I didn't know that.
You didn't know about the smoke?
I didn't know about the smoke.
Wow.
I absolutely did not know about the smoke. So I said, shh. And then the guys in front of me are moving and running. So I said, let me move and run. So when I run and I go, and I'm going through this smoke, and when I clear the smoke, I look at the stands and it's filled to capacity. And I'm like, wow, welcome to college football.
Wow.
And I was like, this is great. And then,
You lost.
No, they beat
we beat the hell out of them.
31-4.
31-4.
Yeah.
What was the Florida game that you guys, was that 89?
I never lost to Florida, by the way.
Okay. So what season was it where they lost to
83
Florida?
when Miami won the national title.
The first national title. The first national title. They lost to Florida the first game of the season.
Right.
Yeah, ran the table. That was my first. The second time where the crowd was just electric in the Orange Bowl was November 21st, 1989, when number 1 Notre Dame came to the Orange Bowl, and we were number 7 in the country. And that game was crazy. Because it was the last thing Jimmy Johnson said before he went to the Cowboys. He said, he came to the point and said, beat Notre Dame. That was ringing in our ears the whole time. And I remember I was on the bus.
So you guys knew he was leaving?
Yeah, we knew he was leaving.
Okay.
So I remember on the bus, we were riding on the bus, and our theme music, because Notre Dame was number 1, and they were all hyped up, and they hadn't lost a game in like 20 whatever. We were playing Public Enemy, Don't Believe the Hype, on the bus to the stadium. And it was crazy. I knew when we walked in there, we weren't going to lose that game. So those are my 2.
All right. What about NFL?
The NFL, well, 3. I mean, of course, I had so many different memories at Three River Stadiums. That was just crazy. The 2 AFC Championship games, but the Super Bowl was probably the most electric.
Really?
Yeah, the Super Bowl. Don't get me wrong. Even here in Jacksonville, when we played the Titans in the AFC, all the AFC Championship games were crazy.
Yeah.
They were crazy.
What was the Miami game like? Jimmy's last.
The Miami game was, I mean, it was just as crazy. I mean,
The route,
probably. Yeah. And listen, I swear, I was sitting on the sideline saying to myself, okay, 42, 49, 56. I said, man, we're going to need some of these points, man. We scored too many points. I was on the sideline saying that.
You're right.
I said, we're going to need some of these points. And then, of course, the Titans came in the next week, and we damn sure needed them.
You got short, yeah. The 382 on the text line says Colts had Jags. Scobie hitting a 59-yarder, setting the record. Yeah, that place was wild. Let's see. A lot of you were saying the fourth quarter in Jags and the Chargers game, which was wild. I actually think the Titans game to win the division was more crazy.
That fumble return?
Yeah,
the scoop score. Yeah, that was pretty special.
That whole game was so intense, man.
Mm-hmm.
Every series. That was really, really impressive.
Because it was whoever won got in, right? That was the winning you in, right?
Ride or die, man.
Yeah, I love those type of games where you either win or go home.
Yeah, yeah, which is obviously why the NCAA tournament is such a big deal. All right, so give us your thoughts on the most exciting environment you've ever been around, been in. We'll continue to give you that. I'll give you mine next segment. Let's go real quick to OTAs, Leon. Before we go to break. One thing I noticed today, excuse me, and I thought was very interesting. They're moving around on the offensive line, and I like that. I like the fact that they're not saying, okay, our offensive line is going to be Hainsey and Makari, and Ezra and Walker Little and Anton Harrison, and that's it. That's what we're going for. It's like the bulky attitude. We're doing it. This is what we're doing. All day during this final OTA, running with the ones was Chuma Edoga on the right tackle. Now Hainsey apparently had an ankle, so Fortner was running with the ones. Hainsey was out there a little bit.
Okay.
But I just thought it was interesting that we haven't hit pads yet. Not even really spiders or whatever you guys could call it.
Shells, yeah.
Right? And the Doug's already kind of making a mark right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to jump the broom on it quite.
No, I don't either.
Right
and
now,
I'm not saying it's going to happen. All I'm saying is if they're doing it now.
Yeah, well, this is the time that you should do it. And to be quite honest with you, this is the time where you want to get a look at the different players. You want to mix and match guys. You want to put guys in at different positions. And quite frankly, I mean, guys like Walker Little and Anton Harrison, I mean, they can't take it personal because you're not their guy. You're simply not. You're draft picks from the old regime. And it's something on film that the new regime saw that felt like we needed to push these guys because they're not playing up to their potential.
But I was just going to say, it's not only you're not their guys, you haven't played that well.
Yeah, you've done nothing to solidify your position at the left and the right tackle position. You're essentially names, okay? So yeah, and I like the fact that the coaching staff is pushing the envelopes, is making guys feel uncomfortable. Yeah, they should feel uncomfortable because now it's a free fall. The competition is out there, but at some particular point, maybe not now, but in somewhere late July and early August,
right,
you would like to solidify your starting five,
right?
Because the continuity's got to be there as far as their ability to communicate with one another, all those non-communication signals. So you want to have your front five ready to rock and roll by the time the preseason starts.
Right. I actually think only Makari really has a lock on a spot.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a guy that you don't pay a guy that kind of money to sit him. So he's.
No, the right guard is.
I think that's the lock.
Yeah, it's a lock. Yeah.
Excuse me, but Hainsey should be because they paid him, and they probably paid him too much. But if something funky happens and Luke Fortner goes out there and plays his ass off, I play him, right?
Well, listen, I remember I talked about this that this might be a prime opportunity for Fortner because according to the old regime, he was the scapegoat. He was the guy, the reason why the major collapse because the center of the offensive line was not solidified. So, I mean, that's old baggage. So now he has an opportunity with the new regime to prove his worth. Right. So I mean, he's got to seize that moment and make it a competition. But you got to think Hainsey is a Tampa Bay guy, what Liam knows very well.
Started early last year before he got benched.
Yeah,
right.
So right now, if this is a 100-meter race, I mean, Hainsey's got at least 20 meters on him. Let me just say that, to the finish line.
20 meters.
At least 20.
Well, that's his job then.
I'm just saying.
If you think that, then it's definitely McCarry and Hainsey are both locks.
Yeah.
So I think the other three are up for grabs, man. I think when the pads come on, if Wyatt Milam shows that he can be that type of nasty, aggressive type of guy that's not going to blow assignments, they got to make sure he's not going to blow assignments. I think he can win that job.
I think he can win it too. There's nothing that Ezra Cleveland has done to say, oh, he's your guy. I mean, except getting paid last year, getting overpaid last year, in my opinion.
Right.
So this rookie has an opportunity to come in, and that's the reason why they drafted him. They drafted him in the third round.
Right.
I saw the kid I saw him at the Senior Bowl. The kid's a roughneck. I like it. What's the other guy that? Cooper Beebe. Now, I was remember a couple of years ago, I was upset that they didn't go after that kid.
Yeah.
You showed me film on it. I watched some film on him. So I mean, he might be my Cooper Beebe of this year.
Yeah, I think and what they did, and who knows what today meant, honestly. If it means that Chuma Doug is a guy that they're looking at seriously at right tackle, we don't know that. But all I'm saying is when the pads go on and Udoka gets a chance to show what he can do physically. When the pads come on and Fred Johnson gets the same opportunity, the same Fred Johnson who started 8 games for the Eagles last year, when these guys get their opportunity, when Wyatt Milam gets his opportunity to show what they can be physically, there's opportunity there. I don't know how there couldn't be opportunity there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think sometimes we get caught up and think that when guys get position, it's a permanent residency. No,
that's the old way of thinking, man.
It's not a permanent residency.
Lifeline's what that is.
No, you're just renting. You're just renting space. You might get an eviction note.
All right, we need to go to break. We're going to get more into OTAs on the other side. We've got a bunch of other stuff we want to get to. The NBA playoffs, the finals, begin tonight. We'll get JJ's thoughts on that, our resident NBA expert. We'll come back on the other side. It's XLP.
Believe in miracles.
My mom and dad used to tell me, hey, you're a miracle baby for a reason. You're going to do awesome, great things. When you hear that over and over again, do you know what happens? You believe it.
1010XL.
Mark your calendars. Chicken Salad Chick opens June 10th in Ortega Park on Roosevelt Boulevard. Be one of the first 100 in line on grand opening day and receive free chicken salad for a year. More details on Chicken Salad Chick Ortega Park Facebook page. See you there. Are you an experienced chiller technician and looking for a role where your skills are truly valued? It's time to make the move to Local 234, plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. You'll get top pay, comprehensive health and welfare benefits for your family, and a pension that doesn't come out of your pocket. Join the team that's got your back. Local 234, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit UA234.com to send your resume today.
Equal opportunity employer.
David Garrard here. I've had the PRP treatment from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and my knees are really doing well. Platelet-rich plasma treatment may be the answer for whatever is hurting you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple of years ago. When it's smooth as silk, Dr. Kevin Murphy did it. Was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Mia here for my friends at Closets by Design. It's been a few months since they built my custom closet. Even my family is obsessed. And with Father's Day right around the corner, why not surprise Dad with his own custom garage workspace? Tool storage, workbenches, the whole works. Closets by Design creates custom solutions for every space, lifestyle, and budget. That includes Dad's. Call to schedule your free in-home consultation and receive 40% off plus an additional 15% off. Visit closetsbydesign.com.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On June 5th, 1977, the Portland Trail Blazers hold off the Philadelphia 76ers by a final score of 109-107, winning the NBA championship in 6 games.
It's a battle of football champions as your Sharks take on the Arizona Rattlers. Don't miss any of the action this Saturday, June 7th. Discover the thrill of indoor football. It's fast-paced, action-packed, and full of family fun. Try the new Family 4-Pack. 4 tickets, 4 $10 vouchers, and a $20 Al's Pizza gift card for only $100. Get tickets at jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700. 904-621-0700.
It's a battle of football champions as your Sharks take on the Arizona Rattlers. Don't miss any of the action this Saturday, June 7th. Discover the thrill of indoor football. It's fast-paced, action-packed, and full of family fun. Try our Family Fun Pack. 4 tickets, 4 $10 vouchers, and a $20 Al's Pizza gift card for only $100. For tickets, go to jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700. That's 904-621-0700.
Go Sharks! Hey, Hicken here, or just call me Dreamfinders Danny. For a limited time to ring in the new year, Dreamfinders Homes is offering an amazing 4.99% fixed interest rate. Now's your chance to lock down that rate and get in the game. You heard me right. It's 4.99 fixed interest rate on select move-in ready homes. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for sales event information and get in the game. Interest rate available on select move-in ready homes. Restrictions and limitations apply. Go to dreamfindershomes.com for more details.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
If you're ready to transform your yard with a fence that stands out, elevate your curb appeal with Superior Fence and Rail. Superior takes pride in offering first-class service, friendly installers, and unmatched fence products. Mention this ad and get $250 off your next project. It's time to get off the fence and call today.
When you're on the fence, about the fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
All right, we're back on XLP. You guys are crushing it on the text line, by the way. 641-1010 with your best environment you've ever been around. Ravens 22. Home game, says Bush Drive Rich. Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one, man. Morton Anderson obviously missing the field goal in 96. I don't know that I covered that game, so I don't know that the environment was electric as the last play was electric. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the last play was electric because I was on the sideline when it happened. It was a bunch of players like, Morton don't miss, man. We going home. Yeah, that's the way. I wouldn't think like that, but guys around me like they making vacation trips because it had to be within the 30. It was less than the 30.
It's like 20-something yard.
Yeah,
like 28
and it went
yard
wide to the left, bro. I mean, that guy was automatic.
Automatic.
It was fake.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah, bro. When you watch it though, he did slip. He did slip
a little bit.
Yeah, he slipped a little bit. That's all we needed.
Definitely slipped a little bit.
That's all we needed.
That was some kind of something. Somebody was like rubbing the nose, and then bang, it happened.
Hey, I'm glad it happened.
I don't know what it was, but something got a little wild there. All right, so I told you I'd give you I actually have two. One from the college game and one from the NFL. So college is the 2013 Iron Bowl between Alabama and Auburn, the kick six game, which was just a wild game back and forth.
One of the best games I've ever seen.
Oh, my gosh. The kick six kind of overshadowed, not kind of, it definitely does. It overshadows how Auburn got to the point where they could have won the game in the first place with that. Remember, so the RPOs, they used to allow guys to block 3 yards downfield. And Nick Marshall did that he ran the option to the field side. It wasn't the boundary, it was the field. To the field side. Everybody comes up on him like he's running option. He stops and throws it downfield, wide open. I think it was Sammy Coates, if I'm not mistaken. Touchdown. An unbelievable play. unbelievable. That led to, of course, the kick six, which, of course, with Saban and screaming at the officials to put 1 second back on the clock when I think it was Jordan that had to have been Yeldon that ran out of bounds and didn't get. And initially we thought it didn't get out of bounds in time. Saban screamed at the official. He wanted the 1 second back on. So they put the second back on. Obviously, you know what happened. The field goal, kick six, boom. That place was wild the entire game. Afterwards, I'm down on the field during the kick six. I was standing next to Dennis Dodd at CBS Sports, and Chris Davis runs right by us, and we look at each other like, wait a second, is this happening right now? And it was the whole, the fans crushed the field, and you couldn't get to the locker room, and it took forever, right? Just a unbelievable moment. The intensity of the 3 hours, because it's such a big rivalry.
Yeah.
They hate each other, man. We obviously all know that.
Well, that's the best time to run a kick six because you got 7 linemen on the field who can't cover.
Chris Davis initially wasn't back there. They called timeout and put him back there. He initially wasn't even back there.
Wow.
That's the best part of it all. Here's another one. The best pro environment I've ever been in. Very similar situation. So I was covering the NFL for the TU. This was a year before I went to go cover the Gators in 95. I was covering the NFL playoffs, and I was in Nashville for the Music City Miracle.
Wow.
Yeah. On the field.
Frank Wycheck.
On the field.
Wow.
It happened on the other side of the field. But yeah, right there, right on the field watching it. Again, one of those.
So you saw it was a forward pass.
Yeah, it was, clearly a forward pass.
Of course it was.
Right.
I was doing an autograph signing at this sports bar watching the freaking game saying, Buffalo coming here, we're going to kill them. All right. Well, I said, Buffalo, we're going to the Super Bowl. And then I like, what happened?
That was Doug Flutie.
What I was doing is I was going to the games of the teams that the Jags could play.
Okay.
So when the Titans won that game, that was it for you. You knew it.
No. I first of all, I was very vocal. I was like, man, everybody was asking, oh, you hate to say it. I said, man, I said, I don't care about no Titans. It's like, oh, you're third time's the charm. I said, listen. There you go, JJ. I had that on my side, too. Here's the one thing about that. Listen, I knew I was going to have a hell of a game. And I can't speak for everybody. I'm just saying. But when you on the doorstep to the Super Bowl, bro, you got to show up.
I mean, you can't play every position.
Thank you, that part.
The Titans the next week went into Indy and beat the Colts.
Yeah.
A really good Colts team.
Yeah.
That was...
And almost won the Super Bowl. They were a yard away.
They were, bro.
Yard away from winning the Super Bowl.
If you go 15-3 and the same team beat you, you don't supposed to go Super Bowl. That's just...
Yeah, there's obviously a team who's better than you.
And I said that at the end, I said that after the game. I said, we don't deserve to go. We can't beat this team. We need to be home.
So I hate to pick at scabs, but, bro, that potential of that game, that might have been maybe like the funnest Super Bowl, at least top 5, maybe even ever, had the Jags and the Rams played in that game. Those two offenses?
Yeah, it would have been nice.
My gosh.
It would have been nice.
It was actually low scoring.
Fireworks.
The Titans game, I'm pretty sure, was pretty low scoring.
Yeah, it was. It was like 23-17 or something.
Yeah.
But I think the Rams and the Jags, you guys would have just gone after it.
Yeah, but I mean, because we definitely had weapons. We knew the greatest show on turf. They definitely had weapons.
Right.
Yeah, I would like to. I would love to see that. I mean, I say it now. I've gone to 4 AFC Championship games. I'm saying to myself that we would have gave it all to them. And then when I was with the Steelers, we would have gave the 49ers all they could handle. All they could handle.
Are you sure about that?
I'm more than positive.
That was a pretty good team.
Yeah, we were a pretty good team.
I mean, they won by like 40 in that game. You know that, right? It was like 52 to something. They killed the Chargers in that game.
Yeah, they killed the Chargers. Yeah, the Chargers. Yeah, well,
the Chargers beat you, right?
Yeah, they beat us. They did. Not deservingly, but they did. We would have ground and pound the 49ers. They ain't want none of the smoke.
All right, so let's get back to OTAs real quick because it was the last OTA. Minicamp begins next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Wednesday is the open day to the public, so you can go out there and watch your Jags and watch Travis Hunter and Trevor Lawrence and all the guys you think are going to be critical to the Jags this season for this bounce-back season. Trevor Lawrence, Leon, you've been out to OTAs, and I said this in crosstalk with the ladies on Helmets and Heels. There's nothing he's done when I've been out there where I'm like, oh yeah, okay, here we go. Now it feels good. You know what I mean? Now it feels like, okay, he's got it, or all of a sudden it looks like, oh, this system looks right. What they're running right now in OTAs, the 7-on-7s, is essentially the same stuff they ran last year with Doug Peterson. It's a very similar system that they're running. Now, it's of course, it's formationally it will be different. Play calling will be different, obviously. Coordinating the game plan will be different. Most everyone in the league runs a similar system, correct?
Yeah, they do.
So I guess my point is, when you go out there Wednesday as a fan and you're going to watch Trevor Lawrence, because he's the guy everybody watches, we all know that. You're not going to be like, oh wow, yeah, okay, yeah, this new system's great for him. Oh yeah, this whole thing they put together, yeah, this looks good. It doesn't look any different than previous years. So it's the difference is going to be when they go and they play, when they have the combined practice with the Dolphins, and you see a little, they're not throwing against the same people every day, right? And then whenever he plays in preseason, and I think they're going to play, the ones are going to play in the preseason. And then obviously when the season begins, you're going to see what happens and how it's all played out. But right now, Leon, I'm not seeing anything where you're like, oh yeah, whoa.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, we're all fans now. To the trained eye, we may not see anything different as far as Trevor goes, but I'm sure that on the film room, because Liam Cohen, when he came out in the press, and he said Trevor's got to work on his feet. So I'm sure that everything that's going on schematically with the offense, they're watching Trevor's technique, his fundamentals,
right? Which is what you do in OTA.
Yeah, that's what you're doing. You're watching his technique and fundamentals.
You're honing the mechanics.
Absolutely. So I'm sure they're honed in on the mechanics, his decision making, the velocity of the football if he's getting there. I'm sure they're getting on him to not to press, manipulate the defense with your eyes, all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, those are the little nuances that we're probably not seeing as fans watching the game, but I'm sure that Liam Cohen and the coaching staff, they're taping him every day, and they're probably pushing the button with Trevor now on film as far as corrections go.
Right.
So that's the stuff that we're probably because we're going to cheer if he throws a good play, touchdown, end zone, we're going to cheer. We're going to be happy. And if he makes a bonehead play, an interception, we're going to be upset with him. But I think right now his technique and fundamentals that Liam Cohen made apparent that needs to be worked on. Right. I'm sure that they'll evaluate that in the film room.
Yeah, and I will say this: he's got some weapons. Strange looks a little more smooth. Like I said, I've been saying all along, the last couple of years, he's looked very clunky, very plodding. Not plodding. Plodding's not the right word. He just looks like he's not an Evan Ingram type flex guy.
Like he carrying a couch on his back.
Yes, okay. Somewhat. Yeah,
gotcha.
But I think he looks smoother this year. De'Ami Brown looks really good. Okay. I don't know what's gonna happen once they start playing someone that's not the Jags. Again, we joke all the time. It's Jag on Jag. He looks really smooth, really fluid. Brian Thomas is just going to be a beast. A beast. He is clearly far and away the best player in that team. He is the best player in that team. And I know you all want it to be Trevor Lawrence, and some of you think it's Trevor Lawrence. The best guy on that team right now is Brian Thomas. And he's only going to get better. And I love the fact that everyone is focusing on Travis Hunter because that's just great motivation for him. That's just a nice little, stick in his back a little bit. Like, oh, really?
He'll never say it.
Y'all happy about the number 2 overall pick, huh? You don't think he'll ever say it, huh?
No. Brian, listen, if you're a competitor and you're an athlete, you won't say it. You won't say it publicly. But in the locker room, it's like that, it's like that old dog, the reliable dog at the house, and then you go get a new puppy. And everybody loves the new puppy and plays with the old dog. So, oh, really? Okay. I got something for you.
He's bigger this year. There's no doubt he's bigger this year, which is rare on that roster right now, honestly, because a lot of those guys have lost weight. Josh Allen, we spoke about that, how he was carrying 25 extra pounds, 30 at one point. If you're going from a previous weight that he used to be a year and a half ago, it's almost as much as 30. Devin Lloyd, has really slimmed down. I bet he's lost at least 20 or 25 pounds.
Good for him.
Yeah, he looks quick. He looks quick. He looks like he's got explosion. It was fun to watch him in individual drills. It was fun to watch Anthony Campanile coach those guys, and he was getting. And I know you've seen this too.
Mm-hmm.
He's very hands on with these guys, man.
Mm-hmm.
He was coaching the linebackers, and if a rep wasn't done right, it wasn't get to the back of the line. It was get back here and go again.
Like it.
Whereas before there was a lot of getting the back of the line and a lot of guys standing, like you said all along.
Yeah.
But that's I have a feeling like these hands-on coaches are going to make a difference. Maybe it's just wishful thinking. Maybe it's just hope, and hope is not a plan. We all know that.
Mm-hmm.
But it just feels like it's a little bit different on the field as far as instruction.
Yeah, you're not. I always say this: there's no wasted rep. Yeah, I mean, whether it's a good one or a bad one, the bad ones need to be corrected right then and there. Only way you correct bad reps is you go do it again.
Right.
Go run it back. You don't go to the back of the line. You don't allow them not to do something correctly and then say go to the back of the line. No, you tell them to get down here and run it again correctly, and then you explain to them why they didn't run it that way, and this is what you're looking for. So if they're doing that kind of stuff, which they are doing, because I saw it last week with the offensive line. The offensive line coach was right there. When he wasn't coming off the ball with the proper angles and shooting the hips and all that kind of stuff, coach made the correction, get back and do it again. I love that kind of stuff. You got to correct them. You can't let bad behavior go unwarranted.
Did you see that last year? Did you see hands-on instruction? They call it teaching, and it is teaching. It's instruction. Did you see that last year, or did you see not enough of it?
Well, here's the thing. The most noticeable thing that I did see in practice, the difference between last year and this year, is that there's guys are going rapid fire. You remember I was telling you that when I was watching the offensive line, and they're in one group, and the rest of the guys are just back there lounging by the water pool, just having a conversation and stuff like that. That infuriated me because they're not getting better. You need to split them up, which they do. You got tackles over here, you got guards and center over here, and you're rapid fire. Guys, you gotta get you gotta get the reps in. Yeah, during camp you need 1,000 reps.
So they were going through a drill today, the DB's drill. And I don't even remember seeing this last year actually, or the year before. It's a DB's drill. Everybody does it where you're throwing. Typically you see it during warm-ups before games when DBs are backpedaling, they go left, right, and then they just throw the ball and you catch it, right? Mm-hmm. They were throwing deep stuff. They were throwing 20, 25, 30-yard throws, and they were going after it, like overthrows. Mm-hmm. And they were going after it. And it was just individual work. But Ransaw went up, and, everybody's catching it because it's just individual. You're not dropping anything. And he dropped it. High pointed, everything was perfect, dropped the ball. And Campanile ran from the other side of the field to go tell him, to go teach him something. Mm-hmm. Grabbed him, was talking to him, he went back in the line. And that's what I like to see. I like to see there's no mistake that doesn't go unnoticed, I guess is the way I look at it right now.
Mm-hmm. I love that. That's the only way you're going to get better. You got to if players want to be coached hard. They do. They want to be able to maximize their talent and ability on the football field. So to allow them to make mistakes and not be corrected it's just not right. Sacrilegious, to be honest with you, because that's what Doug. See, the problem with Doug last year, my assessment with him is that he trusted them to be professionals. He did,
right,
and a lot of those players on that team weren't equipped to be professionals. They weren't equipped to do it right all the time.
Right, being a professional isn't just you're playing in the league.
No.
Being a professional is working on your craft, right?
Absolutely, working on your craft, and that team last year failed them because, Doug put it in their hands. Hey, they can handle it. They can handle extra days off. They can handle this going home early, all this other kind of stuff, this nonsense that he was giving them. And then he got shot in the rear end from it. But these guys are like, listen, until you show us you can be professionals, we're going to be on you.
Right.
And I don't have any problem with that whatsoever.
Yeah, I always take it back to Nick Saban, and whenever I'm talking about college football, it always goes back to him because he's just so successful in what he did at Alabama and the dynasty that he built. I can remember Terry Arnold telling me that, look, if I do something wrong in practice, I know it's coming. I know I'm going to get yelled at. Mm-hmm. It's not like I wonder if he's going to yell at me or I wonder if he saw that. He's like, he sees everything. And I know I was going to get yelled at.
Yeah.
And I don't think that was the case. Well, they're definitely not yelling at these guys. I know that. But I don't think it's the case where if something goes wrong, that somebody in the past, somebody goes up to someone and says, no, this is the way it works.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I saw today. To me, I was kind of like, whoa, all right, that's interesting. And I saw it even more today. I saw it previously at the OTAs I went before. This one was different. Maybe it's because it was the last one. I don't know. But Campanile was literally in each, not only the DB's drills, but the linebacker drills. He was going everywhere. That's what I like to see.
And you know that the culture on this team has changed when the veteran guys get on the other guys about not doing it right. Because, I mean, when
the players are policing the players.
Exactly. When the players are calling out players for not playing. Because when we was here in Jacksonville with me, Jimmy, Keenan, whatever, if our defense struggled against a team or whatever, and our offense was gelling, me, Jimmy, and we'll get on our defense. Hey, defense, man, we ain't having that today. Y'all did that last week. You know what I'm saying?
And they straighten up.
And they're straighten up. They'll curse us out, but we don't care about no cursing out. We trying to win ball games.
Right.
And vice versa. If we struggle a little bit, the defense be on us. Hey, offense, y'all got to do better. So when that starts happening, you know you got something.
All right, 1 hour down, 1 to go. We're going to come back on the other side. I want to talk about the way this team has been built and the way it's been developed and how there's just a lack of late-round guys, even mid to late-round guys, that are making impacts on this team. Where you look around and all the successful teams in this league, they've got those third, fourth, fifth-round guys that are impact guys that are even at times all pro guys, Pro Bowl guys. So we'll get into that on the other side. It's XLP.
Every game is a story.
And the game is tied.
Every play is a moment waiting to happen.
We're going to overtime.
Your home for the most play-by-play is 1010XL.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too. From Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Hey folks, Frank Frangie here reminding you the 4th annual Dailies Walk-Off Charities Golf Classic is right around the corner. We sure appreciate our friends at Dailies, always making it possible, and appreciate so many of you who have played over the years. This year, we're back at Deer Creek Country Club Monday, June 9th at 9 a.m. with tons of prizes, auction items, and an awful lot of fun. You'll even meet some of our young walk-off players. Just go to walkoffcharities.com for more information. Can't wait to see you on June 9th at the Dailies Walk-Off Charities Golf Classic.
Love is in the air. Beards Diamonds. Listen up, couples. Got you a great offer. Hicken here. For a limited time, buy one, get one free on all wedding bands. That's right. When you buy his wedding band, get hers free. Buy hers, get his free. Save up to $10,000, man. Are you about to get married? Been married for years, thinking it's time for an upgrade? Don't miss the deal of the year on the ultimate symbol of love. Beards has hundreds of bands, top designers, white gold, yellow gold, rose gold, titanium, platinum, plain bands, channel set bands. You get the idea. Nobody has a bigger or better selection of wedding bands than Beards. So get to Beards now. Find the wedding band that reflects your style and your personality. Buy one, get the second one free. The big box corporate jewelry stores can't or won't do this, but Beards can, and it's happening through June 23rd. Buy one wedding band, get the second one free. Don't miss this opportunity to celebrate your eternal love with the eternal symbol. For a limited time, buy one, get one free on all wedding bands. That's right. When you buy his wedding band, get hers free. Buy hers, get his free. Shop local. Beards Diamonds at the St. John's
As a law
Town Center.
enforcement officer, safe roads are one of my top priorities, ensuring everyone can get home safely each day. Some never will, due to aggressive driving, being distracted, or speeding on the roads. And too often, that results in the toughest part of my job and the longest walk in my life. I'm so sorry. I have some very sad news to share with you.
9 people will be killed on our Florida roadways today. Don't let it be you or a person you love. Buckle up every trip, every time. Let's get everyone home safely. A message from Florida Department of Transportation, Target Zero. For more information, visit targetzerofl.com.
I'm Max Fink. Join me for the Gator Report on 1010XL as I break down the latest storylines in Gator Nation.
Put together by San Jose Collision on the home of the Florida Gators, 1010XL.
Go, Gators!
What does does your dream backyard look like? Hey, it's Joe C. and my friends at CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living can design an outdoor kitchen layout custom built to your taste and lifestyle. You dream it, they can build it. CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. Visit cssoutdoor.com.
Mike Dempsey, and now's the time to get your roof hurricane ready with Apex Roofing and Contracting of Jax Beach. Look, our rainy season is no joke, and if your roof's got damage, leaks, or it's just plain worn out, don't wait. Apex is local, dependable, and will show up on time using only premium materials with ironclad warranties. No shortcuts, no stress, just quality work you can trust. Skip the storm season scramble. Reach for the peak with Apex Roofing and Contracting in Jax Beach or visit apexroofingfl.com.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey Jacksonville, it's Dan Hicken with a game changer. I've tested the field, and Checkmate Coatings is my new go-to for durable, jaw-dropping floor coatings. Better play, better results.
I'm Brendan with Checkmate Coatings. We coat it all: garages, pool decks, driveways, and patios. Be the envy of your neighbors.
Slam dunk your floors at checkmatecoatings.com. Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Want a simple way to boost your company's image without a big renovation? A fresh paint job in your brand's colors can increase recognition up to 80%. At Performance Painting, we help companies stand out with clean, on-brand finishes that impress clients and energize employees. From color consultations to low-odor coatings that won't disrupt operations, we've got you covered. Visit performance-painting.com to schedule a friendly estimate. Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
Transmission troubles? I'm Robin Sidbury, owner of Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road. So come in and see how we can help solve your transmission troubles. We service all makes and models. Remember, get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update presented by USA Park Airport Parking. Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final lived up to the hype last night, and it sure was a tight matchup. The great one, Wayne Gretzky, even said on the telecast that it was the most fast-paced game he had ever seen. After a 3-3 draw at the end of regulation, the Panthers took the Oilers down to the wire of overtime before a Panthers delay of game led to an Oilers power play score by Leon Draisaitl with under a minute left to give Edmonton an early 1-0 series lead. The good news for Florida is that goaltender Sergei Bobrovsky's playing great in net right now with 42 saves last night. It looks like it's going to be a long series, so get ready for a long, hard-fought battle for the Stanley Cup, with Game 2 coming tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. It's 85 degrees at 3:04. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool. On 1010XL.
All right, we're back on XLP. It's hour number 2. Matt Hazley on Cersei, JJ De Silva running the show. Joe C on vacation for a few days in Nashville. Key grip. Leon, he's a key grip in Nashville.
What's a key grip? He's like a roadie, right?
Yeah, it's a he tried to explain it the other day, and you know, it was similar to what we did yesterday with him trying to explain the I can't even remember the question, JD. It was something about every year since Jaromir Jagr has been in the league, someone associated with him was in.
No, a former teammate has been in the NHL final for every year of the last 40 or whatever years.
I mean, the way he explained,
he never asked the question. It's like we all assumed it was from this. Who's the player from this year's final?
Right, of course.
And he's like, Mark Messier.
When he said
and
Messier,
Mario Lemieux, I'm like, what the hell
are you talking
is this guy
about,
on? There's no. I'm like, I know I don't follow hockey, but there's no way.
There's no way Messier's
still playing.
All right, we're asking you guys for the best environment you've ever been in, because that game one of the Stanley Cup Finals last night between the Panthers, your Florida Panthers, Leon Cersei, and the Edmonton Oilers was just ridiculous environment. Just really, really cool. I would love to have been in that arena for that one. You guys are hitting us with a lot of suggestions. Jags over the Chargers is probably dominating, believe it or not, of all. And I thought that was a great environment. Like, once Evan Ingram caught the touchdown pass to bring them to within 2 scores, then you're like, okay, this might happen. Then I think it got a little amped.
Mm-hmm.
But until then, the place was a mausoleum for like almost 2 quarters, was it
bro,
not?
It was, bro. I was at the cigar lounge just depressed. It was a watch party there, and I was sitting like front row excited about the facts the Jags was back in the playoffs after 2017, and then they laid the egg in the first half. I had some choice words for them.
Yeah, I'm sure. Here's one from the 469, a good one too. He said mine was at Daytona when Dale passed, and I was back on the track on the July 4th race from Dale Jr., which was the very next race after Dale passed. The place was in tears, and just a super electric everywhere. Yeah, I don't disagree with that, but that race was also fixed. There's no doubt about that. 100%. 100% it was fixed. And I'm okay with that. And I am absolutely, positively okay with that, because you know what? It's what's good for the sport, man. The icon of the sport tragically dies, and the next time you get to that track, his son wins the race. Yeah, I'm
storyline.
Yeah, I'm okay.
You're calling
with that.
BS on that?
No, I'm not calling BS. I'm saying it was there's no doubt it was fixed. That's what I'm saying.
Remember in the All-Star game, it was Cal Ripken Jr.'s last All-Star game, and they just grooved it like a 93 mile an hour fastball.
Well, I don't think it was 93. It was like 88. He just grooved it, and he just crushed it. Which apparently and also allegedly Derek Jeter's last at bat was also one of those. Remember the game-winning RBI he had in his last at bat? Also,
his
totally
3,000th hit, I believe, was like a walk-off homer. Maybe like his entire career was just perfect timing, very Hollywood.
Hey man, you're saying all these sports figures, they get layups to be impressed.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay, all right.
You don't agree with that?
I mean, being a former athlete, man, I can't even appreciate the narrative.
Look at Strahan.
No, that was disgusting. That was just absolutely disgusting. For Brett Favre to run a bootleg and fall to the ground, that was just disgusting. It really was. It made me sick.
All right, you guys are under complaining to me about Trevor Lawrence that I'm always ripping him. Okay, you got to go one of 2 things. You either rip me because I'm a homer for him, which you do, or because I'm always ripping him. And I'm not really ripping him. What I was saying, and let me try and explain this a little bit. He just looks like a professional out there. That's all. He's going through his reps. That's what a professional quarterback does. My point is, you're not going to see anything where you're going to go, oh, whoa, okay, yeah, this looks different. It doesn't look different. It looks the same as the last few years is all I'm saying. He's a professional out there, a professional quarterback going through the motions. And by saying going through the motions, I'm not saying that negatively. I'm saying he's going through what he's supposed to go through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what professional athletes do. It's like, okay, so Tiger plays in the major. I mean, it's like, what's the part of where you practice? The practice
rounds.
Practice round. I mean, or you're at the driving range, all right?
Right.
Like, that's what OTAs are right now. We know the end game is professional football games on Sunday, Monday, Thursday, all that kind of stuff. So this is just him. This is him at the driving range, all right? And at the driving range, you're not really impressed.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
yes.
it's just him at the driving range. All the players.
You know what you do when you're at the driving range too? You're working on your swing.
You're working on your
swing.
working
on the mechanics of your swing.
You're working on your mechanics or your swing. All right. This is all in preparedness for what we know is to come, which is the season. Yeah.
Right. And then also, like, get it straight. Either I'm a homer or I'm not. One or the other, man. All right. So I wanted to get into this because I thought this was interesting. I was talking with Frangie about this on the sideline while we were watching the last day of OTA today. The mini camp begins next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Wednesday is the day where fans can go out and watch. I'm looking at this roster. I'm looking at their starting 22, Leon. And I look all over the league, and all over the league there are late-round finds that come out. And they're not only, like, very good players, they're like Pro Bowl players. They're all pro players.
Diamonds in the rough.
Yeah, the guys that are 4th, 5th, 6th round guys that are picked and developed. Obviously, Puka Nacua, right? 5th round pick. Tyreek Hill, 5th round pick. Although that might have had something to do with him punching his pregnant girlfriend in the stomach, too. So probably why he slipped a little bit. Jason Kelsey was a 6th rounder. So he's probably going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
6th rounder.
Yeah.
Antonio Brown was a 6th rounder. Brock Purdy's last man selected. So now let's go over the Jags. The Jags 22. You ready for this? Trevor Lawrence, 1st rounder. Travis Etienne, 1st rounder. Brian Thomas, 1st rounder. Travis Hunter, 1st rounder. De'Ami Brown, they didn't select. Brent Strange, 2nd rounder. Walker Little, 2nd rounder. Cleveland, they didn't pick. Haynes, they didn't pick. McCarry, they didn't pick. Anton Harrison, 1st rounder. Look at the defense. Josh Hines Allen, 1st rounder. Devon Hamilton, 3rd rounder. Armstead, they didn't pick. Trayvon Walker, 1st rounder. Foye didn't pick. Devin Lloyd, 1st rounder. Here's your first one. Ventrell Miller, 4th rounder. Has been solid for them. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. He's going to get pushed, man. Jack Kaiser's going to push him to get on the field. So he's been a solid player, but he hasn't been. Look at this find, man. This is the real deal right here. Jarian Jones is a 3rd rounder, and I'd even be willing to push it to the 3rd just to like get somebody in. But we don't know what they have with Jarian Jones. We have no idea. Murray's the other projected star. They did not pick him. Savage, they did not pick him. Tyson Campbell, 2nd rounder. Jordan Lewis did not pick him. All you got are 1st and 2nd rounders on these 22.
Yeah.
And they're not any good, record-wise.
Yeah, record-wise, absolutely right. Well, here's the thing. You got to understand I was a 1st round pick. But I've been in locker rooms with guys who went like, this is when we had 12 rounds. So I was in the locker room with guys who went like in the 10th round, 12th round guys, whatever, So you got to remember the mentality of those guys. First of all, they've got a huge chip on their shoulder. Right. All right, huge chip, because whoever gets picked in those late rounds always believe they should have got picked earlier. Right. And so they already, in their mindset is like, oh, I'm going to. So they got a huge chip on their shoulder. Secondly, they know that when they get to camp, they got to fight like a dog in the street to get a roster pick. I mean, now they got practice squad now or whatever, but their mind says I want to make the roster. Right. So they got to fight like a dog in the street, and then they're receptive to criticism. Yes. Okay, because they understand that the coach is vested in you and he's talking about you. That means, because if a coach don't say nothing to you, you ain't getting no reps. You're just a camp body. Right. But if a coach, just a guy, right? You're just a guy. Because he, first of all, a coach builds up a tolerance, and a coach says, "Okay, this guy don't get it. I'm not gonna waste my time with it. He's not gonna get any more reps." But if you're a late round guy and you're vested and your coach would like to be coached hard, if a coach is on you and grinding on you, that means he sees something in you, right, that you may don't see in yourself. So that's important. That you have to make an impact when you get there. When you're in the late rounds, you got to get the attention of the coaching staff to want them to invest time in you as a coach. And the last thing is that coaches just got to coach better. I mean, the reason why those guys that you're talking about in the 5th rounds, 6th rounds, or whatever, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Yeah, some coaches. I mean, they get paid to coach. If you see something in a guy, you got to pull it out of him. When you that means that you're going to spend some time and energy with that kid. And those guys have more of a firm appreciation for the fact that they're being coached, because 5th, 6th, 7th rounders, they're trying to make the team. Yeah, they're essentially just camp bodies. Yeah. But if a coach sees one like a diamond in the wrestler, he's going to be vested in him. He's going to give you his all, and then it's up to the kid to be receptive of it and then show it on the field. And that's the reason why some of those 5th, 6th, 7th rounders, they go all pros. I mean, they have 8 first rounders in their starting 22. 8, 3 second rounders. So half of their 22 are first and second rounders. 8 first rounders is a lot. That's a lot. It's just a lot. But you also too you gotta, when you do draft in the top rounds, the first or second rounds, they've got to be splashes.
Yeah. Plus, oh, by the way, those 3 second rounders were all within the first 40 picks.
Mm-hmm.
So they have 11 guys that were in the first 40, 45 picks of the draft on their team. Of the draft. And they were 4 and 13. So
that's not good.
Something's not translating, obviously, with the late round picks, obviously, but also with the early round guys. If you've got that kind of talent, you're either missing on guys and they're not what you think they are, or they're not being coached properly.
Yeah, well, they're not being switched on for some reason. If you're a first, second round pick, I mean, you got to be switched on. I mean, you got to get the most out of those guys, and we haven't gotten that from our first and second round.
No, and if you look at these first rounders and the second rounders, they all were legit dudes that everybody believed would be very good NFL players. Not just good NFL players, but very good NFL players. And how many of these guys are very good NFL players right now? Brian Thomas is a very good NFL player right now. Is Travis Etienne a very good NFL player? Josh Hines Allen is every once in a while.
A little above average.
Trayvon Walker's getting there. He's definitely getting there.
Average, yeah. I mean, there's no one there elite.
Tyson Campbell's hit and miss, right? Walker Little definitely is hit and miss.
Yeah, we got good, but not great.
Anton Harrison is definitely hit and miss.
He's a little average. Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's very underwhelming.
I just think it's odd to me how every other team, especially the good teams in the league, you always see them with those 4th and 5th and 6th round guys that are just gems, just really good players
because they're vested in them.
Yeah, the Chiefs running backs for the last 4 years, the Chiefs secondary for the last couple of years.
That part.
So I think they got to be coached better. There's no doubt about it. It's a 2-pronged thing, because if you have these high picks, these guys that are picked high in the draft, the first 45 picks of the draft, and they're not reaching their potential, like I said, you either blew it or they're not being coached well enough. And I think it's the latter more than the former, because I could see a lot of these guys, you guys laugh at me when I say I could definitely see Devin Lloyd going to some team that runs an odd front like the Ravens or the Steelers, and all of a sudden he blows up and has 9 sacks as an outside linebacker. So I think it's a little of both. Give us your thoughts on that on the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosure, 641-1010. We need to go to break. We'll come back. It's XLP.
It begins with a dream and a plan, and ends with those 2 magical words.
Touchdown, Jacksonville!
1010XL.
Say goodbye to glasses and contacts with customized vision treatments at Bowden Associates. Hey, Hicken here. Dr. Bowden and his expert team bring you all the latest options like Evo implantable Collamer lenses, refractive lens exchange, or traditional LASIK. Tailored just for you. Imagine waking up to clear vision. No hassle, no fuss. You ready to see the difference? Call now or visit BowdenEye.com for a free screening. Bowden Associates, keeping the First Coast focused.
You've probably heard the saying, it's not how hard you get hit, it's whether or not you get back up. Well, I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and I have a saying of my own. If you get hit with a personal injury or wrongful death, hit back and fight to make them pay. At Hastings Injury Law, we have the experience you want if you or a loved one suffer a car or trucking accident or wrongful death. Just call 904-HIT-BACK and we'll help you get up and hit back. Office is Jacksonville.
AC Hotline, how can I help?
Help! Our AC isn't working, and my husband's pouring ice cubes down his pants.
Wow. Okay, well, we can help with the AC issue.
Please. I'm afraid he's going to damage something.
Okay, I'm going to connect you with the Duck.
The Doc?
No, the Duck. Duck Air Conditioning. Jacksonville area's AC experts.
Okay, tell them to hurry.
Beat the Florida heat with Duck Air Conditioning. Service, repairs, new installations, commercial or residential. Trust the Duck. DuckDuckAC.com.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville. In summertime, it really can stretch out most of the year because we love the warm temperatures here in the Sunshine State. Greg, give them an idea of what Honda has to offer.
They are all over the board. They've got Honda scooters, Honda motorcycles, we've got Honda boats, we've got Honda side-by-sides. Whatever you like, we've got it.
That means adventure is waiting.
That's right. And we're ready for you.
In the showroom, you can find all that Honda has to offer on Atlantic near Regency, or check out Cycles of Jacksonville's Facebook page.
Let PGA pros straighten your morning drive with Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser on Brunch with the Tour, Tuesday morning at 8:30 on 1010XL. Teed up by Apex Roofing and Contracting and Clearwater Irrigation. Brunch provided by Chick-fil-A.
The housing market is as busy as ever on the First Coast. And if you've moved in or moved on, make sure you have a team of trained electricians ready to help. American Electrical can make sure you're up to date electrically and maximize your living experience. Smart home automation services, home theater systems, outdoor and dock lighting, and backup generators. American Electrical can do it all. A team you can trust with highly trained technicians ensuring you have the best living experience. American-Electrical.com, a leader on the First Coast and powered by professionalism.
Get this thing unwrapped here. Duval!
Praz, what in the world are you doing working on your Duval?
That's right, Dan. I really identify with Duval.
You live in St. John's County, knucklehead.
I mean the Duval sub, the Daily Stash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheeses. Lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, like me. I'm sure there's a Daily Stash sub that sums you up.
The boss.
Because, of course,
oven roasted beef, Munster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me.
That's just not true.
What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it!" and said, "A boss for a boss."
Well, no matter who you are, there is a Daily Stash sandwich or sub for you.
Go find yours. They may even make you a boss.
I'm sure they will, because it is Daily Stash.
Where more is better.
And you got that right.
This is Hayes Carlion for First Florida Credit Union. I bank with First Florida Credit Union because I trust them. I can always count on them when it comes to the vast services they provide. The online banking services are outstanding. So easy to use, depositing checks through the mobile app is fast and efficient. I also go to the branch off 210 in St. Johns County and the Durbin location, but they have 10 branches in the Jacksonville area. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball is home at the newly renovated VyStar Ballpark this weekend. Join us tonight as River City Pride and VyStar present Pride Night on Coors Light Thirsty Thursday. Fireworks tomorrow and Saturday, and our Salute to the Negro Leagues weekend presented by Florida Blue. Kids round the bases on Sunday, Family Fun Day. Baseball all weekend. JackShrimp.com for tickets. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, affordable family fun.
Keeping kids active is a full-time job for parents. Look no further, though, than I-9 Sports, covering Duval, St. John's, and Clay to get your youngster in the game. Summer and fall registration open right now for flag football, soccer, t-ball, and basketball, plus girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows. Fields and gyms all over the First Coast, and the best thing is I-9 Sports offers sports year-round so kids can always find something to do. i9sports.com, enter 1010 in the promo code.
Hicken here with my concierge doctor, Richard Townsend. Doc T, how does a concierge direct primary care operate?
We are a membership-based primary care made directly between a patient and physician. We'll have a limited amount of patients that allows us to give unlimited access and personal service to you. This individualized approach has been shown to lower hospitalizations as well as maintain healthier lives. We also give 24/7 access via phone to me outside of our scheduled office hours.
To learn more, go to mypvconcierge.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
All right, so the long-awaited Aaron Rodgers to the Pittsburgh Steelers has finally happened. Ian Rappaport's reporting Aaron Rodgers plans to sign with the Steelers. It'll be a one-year deal. And, yeah, we don't have any numbers right now, like how much. But 1 year to the Steelers, not much of a surprise.
So let me read this to you real quick, Leon. Get your thoughts on this. This is from Adam Schefter. Quote, Steelers never wavered in their belief that Aaron Rodgers eventually would sign with Pittsburgh. Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin loomed large in this entire situation. Tomlin was a drawing card for Rodgers and was happy to work within Rodgers' timeline. He is a major reason that Rodgers will be a Steeler. Interesting.
Very interesting. Very interesting, because I was under the notion that The hell with Aaron Rodgers. We're not waiting on him.
You had a couple sources in the Steelers locker room.
Yeah.
I don't know how good they were.
Yeah, they were pretty good.
Obviously, they weren't.
Either that or somebody's not telling the truth.
They were never going to
here's
play
the
this
thing.
season with Mason Rudolph,
just
man.
saying.
That's a
Right.
farce.
never
It's clear that Aaron Rodgers didn't want to go to OTAs. It didn't want to be a story, so he didn't sign till after they were over.
You can always bang your chest in February
Yeah.
and say what you aren't going to do.
You got that right.
But then as June rolls around and July is nearby, you'll make
And
change.
once you start seeing Mason throwing the ball around.
Oh, my God. Fluttering in OTAs.
Not only that, I mean, he's 41 years old, Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
He ain't going to OTAs. That's number one. And if you sign him before the draft and he says, I'm not going to OTAs, my God, it's a circus. It's an absolute circus, number one. And number two, it's not good for the locker room. It's not good for the locker room that a guy you're giving a 1-year deal, which has not been reported how much, but my guess it's going to be at least $30 million, I would guess, right?
Yeah.
At least that.
Probably. But do you see Aaron Rodgers is worrying about the locker room? I
No,
mean, it's important. I know it's very important. I mean, he's not there. I mean, the whole purpose behind, I think, OTAs, especially with the quarterback, is to have that continuity with your wide receivers, right? You would think. Oh,
yeah, of course.
Aaron don't need that. Eric just come in the gym, start shooting jumpers.
He just
ain't no
starts chucking.
warm up. He just start chucking them.
He's like,
he don't
RJ,
need to
he's a
warm
chucker.
up. He don't need to warm up.
Yeah,
Aaron
I mean,
Rodgers.
Yeah, I tend to side with JJ on this one. He didn't want to go to TAs. That's number one. Probably didn't want to go to minicamp either. My guess is he's probably not going to go to minicamp.
And remember what a story it was last year with the Jets. They, even though he allegedly had a deal with the coaching staff that he wasn't going to be a minicamp or whatever, it was nonstop questions about it. So why even have that drama? Why even have it at all? So I'm not going to sign until afterwards.
Right, and that's not an organization. And Leon, you can speak to this. The Steelers are not an organization that does drama well. They do not want drama. Period. They dealt with enough with Antonio Brown a few years ago. They don't do drama well.
Yeah, they cut the leash on people. I don't care how talented you are. So I'm surprised that they made these provisions for Aaron. But
why? Why are you surprised?
I'm surprised
by that?
because
It's either that
still away.
or Mason Rudolph.
Yeah, I know.
Are you really?
It's just not the Steelers' way to make provisions for people.
Yeah, but you just can't go into the season without a quarterback. You just can't.
Not Mason Rudolph. No,
I'm actually surprised that they were okay with this drama, bringing in this drama, because they're bringing in drama here. There's no doubt they're bringing in drama. I'm surprised that they were okay bringing in this drama. Excuse me, and not drafting Shitter or Sanders.
Yeah.
Now, granted, you got a Hall of Fame quarterback. I don't know where he is right now, whether he's 80% of that level or 70% of that level, wherever he is. But
if he played like he was against the Jags,
right?
I'm a happy
they're
Steelers
good,
fan.
Right? You're very happy, right? But if he played like he did in other games, not so much. So again, that's all depending on who you're playing. They could have gotten Shitter Sanders any of the first 4 rounds and didn't. So they must have known they must have known that they were going to sign him. At some point they were going to sign him. For all we know, they had a deal. And he said, look, I'm not coming until after OTAs. And Thomas said, okay.
Yeah, you're right.
But where does this put them now? Where does this put them in the pecking order of the AFC now with Aaron Rodgers?
He's still the third best quarterback in their division. I mean, you got El Boogie and you got Joe Burrow. I mean, they're not going anywhere.
Right.
I mean, then you got Flacco with Cleveland Browns or Dylan Gabriel or Shador Sanders.
Apparently, Shador, some reports out there saying he's got a chance to play to be actually number 1.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. All right.
But can they get to the top of that division with Aaron Rodgers? Because the rest of their team's pretty good now, sirs.
Yeah, I agree. They've always had an issue with the quarterback. I mean, you had Russ. You call him Russ Wilson,
right?
And then you had Justin Fields. They were just too inconsistent. The defense has always been stout, but I mean their offense has always sputtered. But I mean, you add Metcalf, but they lost Pickens.
Yeah,
So.
Wow, we had a texter just inform us. Steelers' first preseason game.
I was just going to say that. Yeah, they come here. Game 1.
Jacksonville.
Yeah, so Aaron Rodgers will be back in Duval.
Yeah, he will be. That's going to be a nice one.
It'll be kind of fun, huh?
That'll be fun.
And nowadays, you usually play. They change it all the time, but it seems like the first game of the preseason now the starters actually play, right? Like that used to not be a thing at all.
Right.
So I'm assuming we'll see him.
All right. Yeah. Here's a couple more from the text line. Brought to you by our good friends at Lifetime Enclosures, 641-1010, about the best environment you've ever been in. Now, we offered this up because of the Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals last night in Edmonton, which was just a wild, wild place. And, of course, when we were doing the pre-show, JJ says, what else is there to do in Edmonton? I mean, it's a great question. There's no doubt about it. But it's also hockey's very big there, and they haven't won a Stanley Cup since the 90s, a team from Canada, so it's a big deal. What did you say? How many people are in Edmonton, JJ?
About 1 million.
Yeah, there's about a
more
mil.
than I thought.
Right. So it's a big deal there. The 424 says Ohio State versus Michigan in 21. Ohio State Michigan in most any game is fantastic. The cold game, great game. I believe that was the snow game. Yeah, the snow. That was one of the 3 straight or 4 straight. Excuse me. That Ohio State just couldn't win. Just could not win. Also on the text line here, we got Sanford Stadium when Tennessee was ranked number 1 and absolutely could do nothing against Georgia. That Georgia defense, that was a phenomenal game. That was loud as all get out. And for the most part, if you're looking at an SEC stadium, like here you got the cock block, the Florida versus South Carolina, the block field goal, Spurrier South Carolina Gamecocks, by the way. The Florida game that I always think was the loudest and the most crazy was the 97 Florida State game. When the year removed from Florida's national championship under Spurrier, and they kind of struggled in a couple games, and he was going back and forth with Doug Johnson and Noah Brandeis, and I think Jesse Palmer even started like one of those games against Auburn or something. I'm pretty sure he did. That game was crazy from the jump. So I know a lot of you guys are talking about like the Chargers game. I'm looking for games more of like crazy from the jump, the entire game. The entire game where it was intense. It was back and forth. You never know who would win the game. Just great environments. Like the Texas USC Rose Bowl was phenomenal like that. Just big games like that. So you guys give us some great ideas. I see the Chokadoke in 94. Yeah, another great one. Auburn and Florida in 2006 is another great one. But believe it or not, Leon, a majority of the responses, I would say probably 40% are Jaguars Chargers. And that game was not good first couple quarters, man.
It wasn't, bro.
As far as atmosphere, I mean. It was kind of like a little.
It was 24-0, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it was like
it's hard to get up for the team when you're down 3 scores right away.
That's why I said I thought that the Titans game, which was a week earlier or 2 weeks, a week earlier, was way better. Yeah. I mean, that was a night game. The Chargers game was a night game too. It was a night game, and it was they were wearing all teal in that game. Remember that?
Yeah.
That was a wild game.
That was. The strip, sack, fumble, scoop, and score.
Yeah, Josh Downs was playing quarterback for the Titans, and it was so.
Downs was giving us all we could.
That's what I was saying. The idea that you lose and you're out, and you're going to lose to Josh Downs was making everybody in that stadium. Dobbs, excuse me, Wes Downs. Yeah. Josh Dobbs. Was giving everybody in that stadium agita, man. There was going to be a massive puke off had they lost that game.
Yeah,
that was that was.
And I didn't help.
Tense.
I didn't help because that's when I did that. I hate the Titans video.
You did. That's right.
The pregame hype video.
It premiered that game.
It did.
So I'm glad that we won that game
because that was when you were on your streak of just being a loser. Like you gave a speech to like some kids team.
Bro,
they got smashed. You went to the Miami Boston College game.
No, it was Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech game.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, my record in pregame speeches was like 2-6, bro.
So it was the Georgia Tech? It was like a Pop Warner team too, right?
Yeah, it was a flag football game, and it was a Pop Warner game. The kids, they were undefeated going into the final round. And I gave a pregame speech, and I left, and I came back, and the coach said, Coach, what happened? Oh, we lost. I said, wow, maybe it is me.
Have you been asked back since
no,
that,
bro, I'm not doing any more. And that's the reason why when Miami starts playing this season,
right?
Don't call me in to do nothing.
Yeah, keep your ass at home.
Right?
We'll be at the Notre Dame game.
Going to be at the Notre Dame
Which, speaking of great environments, the last time Miami played Notre Dame in Miami, that was as close to a game like when I was a kid going to the Orange Bowl as I can remember.
Was it full?
Oh, stop it.
Of course it was full. You know,
it wasn't for another great environment in Gainesville last year in late August.
It was full, though. That's the whole thing.
That's great, actually, like going on the road or like in a bowl game and you guys winning is like winning on the road. It is the best.
There's nothing even close to that. Right. Nothing compares to winning on the road. Nothing. You know it, right? When you guys went on the road, what was that like?
Yeah, man.
More so in college, right?
Yeah, mostly in college. Yeah, it was absolutely. Well, it's nothing more inspiring to a player to being booed and then to watch the team leave early before the game's over.
Yeah, as a fan, I just love waving.
Yeah,
as they lock down. There's nothing better than that.
You waved a few times, didn't you? Of course
me?
You, yeah. To fans, turn around and wave.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, 91 Florida State. Yeah, they were giving us business the whole time. So when they went that wide right, boy, I said, y'all can go home now. It's over.
I'll tell you what, it's funny. I know we got to go to break, but it's one of the best waves I've ever seen. And it was kind of like when he did it, I was like, all right, this dude's going to have a big season, or this dude is the real deal. It was 2019. It was early in the LSU season. They played at Texas. And Joe Burrow made this 3rd and 19 throw.
That.
He kind of stepped up in the pocket and hopped and threw this one-legged throw like a dart to Chase. Chase broke a tackle and went all the way for a touchdown. Mm-hmm. And they go to the sideline and put him up by 2 with 2 minutes to go or something like that. They go to the sideline and he's on the sideline turning to the stands doing the princess wave.
No.
You know, with the hand, the princess hand.
Wow.
He's just doing it to the Texas fans.
That's
and I remember thinking, all right, this dude's different. This cat is going to be huge this season. And he was. I mean, from that point on, it was like a rocket ship with him in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Just really,
such
really impressive.
a really lovable player.
He is.
I mean, I'm at the shrimp game last night, and there's an 8-year-old sitting a couple rows in front of me with a Burrow jersey. He's just he's awesome. He's cool.
He is Joe Cool, no doubt about it. All right, we're going to go to break. We'll come back and wrap this thing up.
Just remember, guys, when you put on that 1010XL jersey, the name on the front is a lot more important than the name on the back.
Mike Dempsey here. Look, it's been 10 years that I've been vouching for my guys at Dandy Boots, and for a decade, I'm proud of my association with a local family business. They make a great product. I've made no secret that I was a customer long before Dandy ever came on board on 1010XL. But I'm thinking I'm due a little Dandy swag, maybe a little love. How about a Dandy t-shirt, a ball cap? So how about it, Thompson family? What do you got going on over there? In the meantime, I'm going to keep eating those delicious tuna salad sandwiches. So guys, keep helping me out and grab a Dandy sandwich today.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384. Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Poker fans, ready to ride the waves and win big? Join us at Best Bet St. Augustine for the Summer Splash giveaway. Over $40,000 in prizes are up for grabs, including a 2025 Yamaha Wave Runner. Join us now through August 8th to earn entries into the big giveaways. Every hour of poker play and table game play earns you an entry. The more you play, the more chances to win. Come play and win big at Best Bet St. Augustine. Visit bestbetjacks.com for details. That's bestbetjacks.com.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On June 5th, 1977, the Portland Trail Blazers hold off the Philadelphia 76ers by a final score of 109-107, winning the NBA championship in 6 games.
Hey, Jacksonville Hicken here. I've been around the block or two, and Checkmate Coatings is who I call for my own place. They're my new MVP for stunning, long-lasting floors.
Brendan here with Checkmate Coatings. No massive overhead means top prices on top quality pool decks, driveways, garages, and patios too.
Visit CheckmateCoatings.com today. Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Beer, water, beer. That's a pretty good game plan when it comes to battling the summer heat. When you hit the beach, fishing hole, or golf course, make sure you hydrate. Anheuser-Busch is always up for a good time. Just remember to drink responsibly.
You'll always feel good when you send someone a Kuhn Flowers floral or plant arrangement. This is JJ with 1010XL, and no matter what the reason, Kuhn Flowers has always come through for me. Order online at KuhnFlowers.com.
David here with Royal Pest Services. Man, don't let your yard be torn up by that heavy aeration machine this spring. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to learn more about our granular aeration. Broadcast throughout the tree and shrubs to break up that compacted soil. Visit RoyalPestServices.com.
Rotator cuff injuries are common among athletes and those who have physically demanding careers. Don't let this injury keep you away from the sport you love. Dr. George Barry here, and the first thing you need to do with a serious shoulder injury is to diagnose where the damage is and how significant it is. Rotator cuff tears are either acute tears sustained during an injury or accident, or degenerative tears. If you're interested in learning more about rotator cuff repair and how our expert team of orthopedic surgeons can help you, call Barry Orthopedics today or visit barryorthopedics.com.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just a job, but an experience, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
Need or want cash? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn has cash available. Ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. They need it all, selling or pawning. Get cash on the spot at Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
This is Greg McGarity, President and CEO of the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl. I'm here to share that the Gator Bowl is actually a year-round organization. We're known for the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl football game, which has been a Jacksonville staple for more than 80 years. Off the football field, the Gator Bowl is also host to the annual Florida State baseball game, a champion of local youth through Gator Bowl charities, and a strong networking organization of local individuals and companies through our membership. We're actually looking to grow membership, which is an affordable, fun way for you to get involved and give back to our community. To learn more, visit GatorBowl.com for more information.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
All right, my takeaway is I gave you two scenarios where it was electric for me as a player, but not as a fan. So I think as a fan, let me see, 1992, Florida State versus Miami. I was a Steeler, and on our off week, just happened to be the off week when Miami played Florida State.
Nice.
I was on the sideline watching the game, totally frustrated by offensive line, inability to block anybody. But it was wide right too. I was on the sideline for that game.
What year was this again?
1992.
92, okay.
In the Orange Bowl, yeah. I was very happy. Why right too?
And that's it.
That's it. Now Notre Dame, yeah, of course Notre Dame. What JJ was talking about, Miami played Notre Dame.
Was that 2017?
Yeah, I think.
Who was your quarterback then? Malik Rozier, is that right?
Yeah.
Rozier. Yeah, right. That game I remember.
He had a good season.
He did.
He did. That one year had a really good year.
He really had one good year. I remember sitting in the chair in the Legends box or whatever. And I remember Dennis Erickson coming up behind me saying, "Doesn't this remind you something?" I said, "Yeah." Probably the only real time that Hard Rock felt like the Orange Bowl.
Yeah.
Got to 9-0.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like,
what's the deal with Miami getting 9-0 and then collapsing in the end?
Right.
Goodness gracious.
That was Mark Richt.
That was Mark Richt. Well, we got the 10-0. We were the number 2 team in the country, bro.
That was the turnover chain year.
That was.
And you were like, wow, Miami's defense is finally getting turnovers like they used to, and it's become a thing, and it was cool. And then the chain suddenly got not cool anymore.
By the way, what happened?
Very quickly.
What happened to all that? All the
Mario
things they
got
did.
rid of it.
No, not just Miami. I mean everything. George used to have those shoulder pads or whatever it is.
They still might.
Do they still do it?
Maybe. But yeah, remember Florida State's book bag?
Yeah.
Backpack.
God, remember that?
Was so embarrassing, man.
Or Tennessee's turnover trash can.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just so perfect for Butch Jones. That just a microcosm of his time there, a trash can.
Remember when he said, we're champions of life?
Oh, my God.
We might not have won anything, but we're the champions of life.
Remember that?
Like, he always had some.
Didn't Florida have something like where the guys were dunking a Nerf ball or something?
Was that Florida? I do remember that.
Was it a Nerf ball or was it like a real basketball? I don't know if it was, I think it was Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just, golly.
You could say it lame.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just.
I'm sorry we started that trend.
Yeah, you guys did. It's all on you. By the way, my takeaway is it's nasty outside. Thunder, rain, wind. Like a little bit over a week ago, I was driving to my daughter's house in St. Augustine, and I've lived in this state a long time, and I don't think I've ever seen rain like that, rain and wind, ever. Other than like a hurricane, outside of a hurricane, I don't think I've ever seen rain and wind like that. So it's raining, and this kind of takes me back to a few days ago, JJ, when we were going through the same thing at the end of the show. This is where we are. This is Florida. It's mid-afternoon. This is when it starts to heat up, and you get a little sea breeze, and it connects, and all of a sudden you got storms, right? We all go through this. And it was storming the other day. Just brutal.
Yeah, fear.
And we're all waiting to go out, and Leon just walks out the door and walks right to his car. His car's probably, how many yards, Leon? 50 yards away?
50 yards away, yeah, just about.
No umbrella.
Didn't run, no umbrella, just calmly strolled to his car. And then tells us today, tells us today he was.
I was singing.
What were you singing?
I don't know. It was a happy song.
Singing in the rain.
It might have been that. It was a happy song, bro.
I love the fact that there's like happiness in your heart.
Well, yeah, man. That's why I say I've always walked in the rain and never got wet because my mind doesn't think about the weather. Doesn't think about the weather. I'm just thinking about. Listen. I'm enjoying that moment while other people running, scrambling around, trying to get out the rain. I'm saying, listen, this. I have no problem with.
You're just enjoying God's gift.
You are, yeah. I mean, that's.
Yeah, bro.
That's what I love, man. It's because we're all just like, how are we going to get to our cars? Oh, no. Does somebody have an umbrella?
God forbid I get wet.
Right. And Leon just literally opens the door and just calmly walks to his car. It was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. And then he gets, and I'm out by the door waiting to leave, waiting for it to at least slow down a little bit. And he pulls by at the gate that opens up automatically, honks at me, keeps going, peace out at me. And I was kind of like, screw it, man.
The truth is he probably didn't want to spend one more second at work that he didn't have.
Probably that.
Listen, I absolutely love it here. Absolutely. I was just, listen, my mindset was like, I'm not going to let the rain deter my day. I'm having a great day.
Yeah, you kind of motivated me too because like
hey,
when you honked at me, I was kind of like, all right, who cares, man?
Exactly. Listen. We're going to be off the air in about 5 minutes. All right, just come walk with your boy.
All right, we got the Frangie show coming up shortly, and then I believe Hacker's not back, right?
Hacker is not back
yet. So Blue's after that. He'll wrap up the night. We had a lot of fun talking about OTAs. His last OTA was today. Again, minicamp starts next week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Wednesday is the day for fans to go see your club. Here's a guy who knows a little something about that club.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. CoolCatsJacks.com.
The coolest cats in town.
So you remember a few days ago when it was like pouring.
Yes.
At this time.
Yes.
You didn't know what Leon did you?
I did not. That's
Bro, he
that's
literally
impressive.
just calmly walked 50 yards to his car.
It's amazing. And probably didn't get wet. You know, just some people the rain just doesn't hit them.
I can tell you this. Mentally, he didn't get hit. Yeah. No doubt about that.
Yeah. And that's 85% of the battle right there.
It is. That it is right there, bro.
I'm definitely a wait it out. Like, if we get done with the show and it's pouring outside, like, I'll give it, like, a few minutes. Now, after, like, a few minutes, then I'm just like, all right, I'm just going to get wet.
Right.
But because of the nature of our, ecosystem here, and I'm talking about weather, not a football roster.
Right.
It's one of those things where if you just give it a minute in Florida, it could stop. or it could definitely severely slow.
Right.
So that works for me pretty well. But I definitely respect the just walking right into the monsoon.
And listen, man. Hayes. 3 minutes later, I get on Southside. The weather's completely dry.
Right.
Yeah, and that's our area.
That's Florida. Yeah.
By the way,
love it.
that whole ecosystem we've been talking about, they don't win games, is going to turn into an ecosystem. Okay.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Yeah.
Quickly.
I will say, I mean, I like what he's done. I like the ecosystem. I mean, I like the harmony that's there. I like the roster. I think they've done a nice job, with the constraints that you have to work with. I think they've done a nice job. So, I'm excited about it. But yeah, it's not often I can use the term ecosystem, and I've always associated it with something you learned in like science class, not like, professional football. So, it was kind of refreshing to actually use ecosystem and talking about the weather and not the roster.
All right, so before I ask you what you guys got coming up, I made a quick point. I want to get your thoughts on this real quick. Trevor Lawrence out there in the OTAs, he just did what he's supposed to do. Just what a professional does. Just goes out there. There was nothing where you were like, oh, yeah, he's got it now. Just a professional.
That's the thing. I mean, these are important to go out and observe and things like that. But, I mean, it's just such a minute amount. I mean, it just doesn't carry a lot of weight, good or bad. Right. I mean, in 2017, that training camp, Bortles was terrible. To the point where I was coming in here and saying they should cut him because they picked up his fifth-year option. And if he got hurt, they were going to owe him that money.
Right.
And he was so dreadful. and really, I thought the team didn't look very good.
Right.
But he was awful. And they went to the AFC Championship game. So and there's been times where I've been really excited about them, and then they get out there for regular season games, and they're incompetent.
Right.
So you just don't know. I mean, it's good to be out there and make observations, but yeah, in terms of reaching any kind of verdict, I would equate it to this. We are a jury and we're in trial, and all we've heard so far is like the first sentence from the opening argument from one side.
Right.
I mean, we've got nothing to really go on yet in terms of where this thing is headed, but it's always fun being out there. So yeah, we'll talk about that coming up on the Frangie Show, and we have our Loser Monday NBA Finals draft coming up, so that'll be a lot of fun as well. So yeah, it'll be should be a fun time on the Frangie Show today.
All right, awesome. Thank you guys. Frangie Show coming up. Blue after that. JJ, who do you got in the finals?
I have the second. I mean, is that a joke?
How many games? How many games will the Thunder win?
Thunder and 5.
Thunder and 5. All right.
What about y'all?
I think the Thunder are going to sweep them, actually.
Wow.
That's just from a casual guy who watched the playoffs.
I got Thunder in 6.
Okay.
Thunder in 6. All right. For Leon, for JJ, for Joe C. on vacation in Nashville, the key grip that he is. Frangie Show's next. Blue after that. Hang in there on the Superstation.
You're in the pole position with 1010XL.